Breaking news. My name is Renelo Matlesa and I am your child-free by choice advocate. I'm 32 years old, child-free by choice. Guys, we need to read this article because there is a movement against the child-free ideology and movement in Russia. Let's read this article. It says Russians who promote child-free movement could soon face hefty fine. The Speaker of the lower house of parliament, an ally of President Vladimir Putin, said a new bill would tackle the ideology of childlessness. Russia's fight against the West and its values has taken aim this week at an ideology that the Kremlin and its allies say threatens the country's very foundation, people not wanting to have children. So, guys, when we say we are child-free by choice and it's a movement and it's a lifestyle, it is true. Because all over the world, this is a global conversation that many people have a problem with, and especially the government and policies are going to have a problem with it. Because at the end of the day, it's women that are predominantly trying to make this decision. It is women that are predominantly going for this movement. And this is just another example of how women's rights are not equally valued as men's rights. Lawmakers have proposed a ban on propaganda of conscious refusal to bear children. The Speaker of the lower house of parliament and an ally of the president, Vladimir Putin, said in a post on a telegram on Tuesday. It is the latest effort by authorities to combat the demographic strain of falling birth rates exacerbated by the war in Ukraine, which they caused, which the Kremlin says could threaten the country's long-term outlook. Okay, so we should continue to have babies so that you can continue to have more people to take to war and fight for the country. In July, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov called Russia's declining birth rate catastrophic for the future of the nation. The issues at the heart of it are not limited to Russia. Indeed, they have emerged as flashpoints in the US presidential election. But the move this week is just the latest step in the Kremlin campaign to promote what is cast as traditional values as it reshapes Russian society around Putin's war and embraces an existential clash with the United States allies. Like, what? Now, here's the part about the fine. Like, this is where I'm like, this should be against human rights. The bill would tackle what Volodin, hey guys, I'm not Russian, excuse me, Volodin said was the promotion of the ideology of childlessness and the child-free movement on the internet, in the media, in movies, and even in the advertisement, citing what he said were frequent online displays of disrespect for motherhood, fatherhood, aggression towards pregnant women and children and members of large family. It will come with a hefty fine, he said, of up to $4,300 for individuals and more than $53,000 for legal entities. A close-knit and large family is the basis of a strong state. So this has nothing to do with the desire to have children because children are a blessing or anything like that. It's about the state of the nation. And I've done a video before where certain government policies want children to be born because of how they benefit from it. I'm not saying that children shouldn't be born at all. My thing is get married first. Like, if you're going to be finding people, get married first. But then at the same time, it questions, what if a couple doesn't want to have children for whatever reasons they don't want them to have children? Whatever reasons they don't want to have children. Some of these reasons could also boil down to medical reasons. Some reasons are financial. So when they're saying that they're going to ban us or send us a fine or something, are they also going to give people more money to raise children? Because I don't see them having any efforts to say, hey, for those that are struggling, here's more money so that you can keep having more children. I don't know. This really concerns me. He also officially declared 2024 the Year of Family, something that some of the wives of the men he mobilized for the war in Ukraine told NBC News earlier this year they find ironic, as the country is losing a flood of young men on the front lines just as it's facing plummeting birth rates. What a coincidence. Okay, so they're facing plummeting birth rates because women are refusing to have children, and it aligns with the current war that is happening. So in my mind, I conclude that women are tired of creating children, especially boy children and men, so that the country can just force them to go to war, to inevitably probably be unalived on the front line. At what point does the world not, like, the world just wants to control us? Like, okay, let me do let me calm down. I'm just like, this is crazy, guys. Guys, like, the movement is so much more important at this stage now, because now we are seeing there is policies and governments coming up against us, and in countries like, let me not name the country I'm from because maybe they might come here with this nonsense, but our country gives us freedom of speech, and there are certain human rights that we have in the Constitution. And when I'm thinking about something like this, my first thought is, isn't this unconstitutional? I guess Russia has different laws that too we have. But it just further emphasizes to me why it's so important to express your freedom of speech. Because there are people out there that cannot express their freedom of speech. They cannot live their authentic lives. And, being child free by choice, because people can't fathom that you can actually be child free by choice, which you really can. It's a right that you have as a human, as far as I know, in the country that I'm in. But I truly believe that this is just another act of trying to oppress women. If we are in 2024, the modern era, we have equal rights in certain aspects right now. There are countries that don't. But all I see is a country really trying to break down women's morale, break down the voice of a woman, break down the autonomy of a woman. So, ladies, protect your wombs. Protect your wombs, because there might come a time where you will have so much pressure against you, and you're going to need to make a decision for yourself.